animus nocendi, intention to harm. Royal, noble, honorable brothers and sisters here in the United States of America and from around the world. EXJ Global News Network, the Light Kingdom Party, and Mr. Caduceus, we want to talk today about animus nocendi, about intention to harm. We still remember the flamboyant speeches, "Lock her up." We have also witnessed his speeches to Russia, "Get from her the emails, provide to me the stolen emails so I can win the presidency." We are witnessing now in his rallies again the crowds cheering to violence communicated, to hatred communicated, by separating, dividing this nation further and further, not only from morals, ethics, and any sort of political standards that once existed in this country. He is dividing the people within this country against each other. It is a campaign of hate. A journalist that has been beaten by a Republican receives the punishment from our Donald Trump as well, as he is, of course, on the side of the violator. He is on the side of the individual that slams such journalists. The media, fake news, needs to be slammed or maybe even killed, like in Khashoggi's matter. Does it really matter for Trump if Mr. Khashoggi has been killed? After all, he's just another journalist. Let us look at the facts straight. Slamming, when defined in Webster, we need to go to the substance of it, which is to hit something or someone with great force in a particular direction. Trump finds such engagement in violence admirable and is in support of such violence. The question being is, when we are in support of violence and when we invite Russia to come and to steal by hacking into his opponents' computers, emails, when all such things are publicly done and the crowds are cheering, what is this man in truth capable of? Royal, noble, honorable brothers and sisters from around this world, a man in an embassy cut in pieces a journalist. That is prehistoric, that is beyond humanity. And when we think that we have become more sophisticated, when we think that we have become a nation of greatness, then I must bring to your awareness that the opposite path this country is currently taking. And in fact, somebody who has no morals, who has no concerns about slamming, who is in truth not concerned about the death of a journalist, who is in truth not concerned about children being still locked up and separated from their children, from their parents. When we are facing an environment of hatred that is consistently and daily promoted and empowered, then we are walking towards another Third Reich. It is with sadness that I have to communicate that the foundation of any sort of dictatorial government is based on the negligence in matters of ethics and justice and humanity. And the violation of humanity takes place already at the moment when we endorse and preach violence, and when we induce the people to walk on a path of violence and to embrace with the speaker, because I do not wish to say the president. His presidency was founded on illegal means, on an illegal foundation. And we need to acknowledge that. As we always say, a man with metal in his boxing gloves cannot be considered a world champion. And that is what we have witnessed. Now, in matters of Khashoggi, this is a message to all journalists in the world. This message means your life means nothing. Your life, if endangered, your life, if threatened, if truth is communicated, be aware that when you communicate truth, your life might be at stake as well, because the casual position that we are taking, the casual position that Kushner and Trump are taking, is of utmost concern and frightening for any man of honor, for any woman that loves her children and teaches them to be honest, to not bully, and to be there for the family. We have entered a stage of the enemy, the media, being not only subjected to slamming, but in which the death of a journalist does in truth not matter anymore. The real question we need to ask ourselves is not why he has been killed. The true question that we need to ask ourselves is, what did he know that he had to be killed in such an expedient time frame and in such a most violent dimension? Mr. Khashoggi knew something. He was going to write about something. Is it Qatar? Is it potentially the relationship between the Trump family, the Kushner family, and Saudi Arabia? Is it about the Qatar sanctions that have been initiated upon rejection of a financial support that Mr. Kushner demanded from Qatar for his 666 building on Fifth Avenue? The question truly is, what has been the connection between Saudi Arabia and Trump and Kushner that has created now an environment in which pretty much the royal family of Saudi Arabia and the Trump and Kushner family are now in agreement upon, and in truth just make the entire situation look like a banality, as nothing in truth has happened, and the involved parties are not associated with the royal family. In fact, it was a rogue organization, a rogue hit that was directed against Khashoggi. They really want you to believe that we are so uneducated to believe such story. And in fact, they insist that, in truth, Mr. Khashoggi is not a great loss, anyhow, as a journalist. His life is being cut in pieces, the worst projected into your faces, in order for you to find nothing to it when violence of such gravity is directed against one individual, to make us immune against violence, to make us immune against injustice, to make us immune against corruption. That is the true agenda. And the Light Kingdom Party is asking you, the people here in this nation and from around the world, follow the light, be light, walk with us as light into the dimension of future, and reject the darkness that these individuals are with willful intent projecting on all of us. United, we illuminate.